Say Scott got a little bit shorter, but that's just Brad. Yeah, we got unfortunate news today with the Scots becoming sick. He's got the flu, but his family is here. His wife and kids, so we'll get them the plaque here later, but unfortunately Scott could not be here today. So Chad, he leaves you out here all by yourself.
I think he was more nervous.
Yeah, maybe more nervous, but unfortunately Scott was trying to get here the best he could, but just couldn't make it here today. But so Chad will be able to handle both of you for you guys today. But congratulations, Chad, an amazing honor. And as you mentioned there, it should be on it. Is it on?
I think so.
There it is. Hey, as we mentioned in the bio about, the Koenen name became a big deal here in the late '90s as Mike came to school here first, and Scott was at Ridgewater, and you were in high school. But Coach Miles and the staff did a great job to recruit you guys and get you all here. But what was that like, that whole recruiting time, and able to get to play with your brothers?
Playing with the brothers was a big reason why I came here. The recruiting process was, I think my mom could tell there was a lot of nights I would purposely be away from the house to avoid phone calls from coaches from all over the place. But same thing as Leon, we were about an hour away from Marshall. My oldest sister came here to college, and then obviously Mike coming here made the decision pretty easy. And Coach Miles is a big reason. I mean, anybody that's met Coach Miles, when the guy walks in a room, I mean, he just lights it up, and the personality he has, pretty easy to commit to that. And then, like I said, being close to home and having an opportunity to play with both my brothers made it easier, I'm sure, for my parents.
Yeah, one thing which was great, you guys all started, were major factors that first year. Had that ever happened before at your McRae days that you got to play together, or was this really the first time? And what was it like to look down the starting lineup and to see your brothers with you? That's a pretty unique situation.
It was the first time in high school we would play. I was a freshman, so I was pretty skinny, pretty small. I would usually get in on varsity time for mop-up time. Mike and Scott had more of a role in high school, but coming here was the first year we were all able to start. So that was pretty special for all of us, and obviously my family as well.
When Miles took over the program in 1997, our program historically in the men's side was not very good. Statistically wise, we moved from NAI to Division II. They took the same winning percentage, and we were the worst win percentage in four-year basketball at the Division II level. To see you guys get better every year, 16 wins, 16 to 18 to the Elite Eight as as a junior year. Just what was that like, the progress that you guys made every year? Because you saw the improvement from your game and Scott's and your teammates, but it was a pretty special time to be a Mustang basketball player.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of that goes to Coach Miles, the type of guys that he would recruit, high character guys, the atmosphere he would set every day in practice, conditioning, everything, every single drill was very competitive, high energy. Anybody that's met Coach Miles can kind of see that ties along with his personality, but yeah, every year we seem to get better, and then my junior year, Scott's senior year was kind of the peak of our career, I guess. Sadly, my senior year wasn't as good as that one, but that was by far the most memorable season for I think all of us.
And you look at that 2001 team, and I had one question. I was going to have Scott talk about Chad's game and vice versa, but let's talk about Scott. He was a little bit shorter than you, but what made him such a special player? Coach Bigler says that to this day, still might be one of the best players we've ever had here at Southwestern. He was so versatile. He could guard, point guard, but he could go on the block. But what made Scott's game so special?
Well, it's easier that he's not here. I would say he is the best of us three. I don't know if I'd tell him that when he was here. It took me a while to admit that. But he was by far the most versatile player I think that ever came through this school. Maybe the NSIC. He's about 6'8", could shoot the three-pointer really well, handle the ball really well, play defense, rebound. He could get a shot anywhere. But versatility was what had set him apart, I think, from most other people that came through here or even in the conference.
Yeah, and led the team in scoring and rebounding all three seasons. Got to the free throw line. He did have some amazing career here. That 2001 team, again, that kind of put Southwest on the map, winning the conference title. Started out 2-4. Wasn't the greatest start, obviously, and had a lot of preseason expectations, but then came back, won 17 straight games, had one loss, and then won a bunch again. What was the kind of the turning point? What of that team? What was the special point? Because you really had some great guards. You had obviously big men as well. But what was the difference that season to kind of get things going?
Yeah, we all had high expectations. Brad and Jacob back there was also part of the team. I remember that year. That's when Jared Miller transferred here, so he was one of the better three-point shooters in the conference. So we were all pretty excited to have him, along with Adam Tash and Marcus Penna and some other really good players that we had. So we had high expectations. I think we were maybe a little overconfident early on. We thought we might be able to kind of show up and win. I think we started that season out down in Orlando.
Yes, we did.
We won our first game against Fort Wayne?
Or was it Bellarmine? Or no, St. Joseph out of Indiana.
So we won our first one. I do remember losing to Rollins College out of Florida, and then we lost a close one to Bentley College.
Correct.
And I believe we came home, there was a tournament in Wisconsin.
Stout, very good.
And
we had not practiced this out at all.
So I'll never forget that game, because I think Stout was a Division III school.
Correct.
We just assumed we'd roll in there and beat Stout. And they were lights out, and they stuck it to us. And I think that was probably the biggest thing that turned us around. It made us all kind of look into each other. And it was a little embarrassing for me. I know, losing to a Division III school. And then after that, we came home, and I think, was it River Falls, Brad, if he's around here? Wisconsin River Falls. I know we went there, and that was one of the games that everything started to click. Shots started to fall, and confidence started to grow as a team. And we just started rolling after that, and it was a special run, that's for sure.
And the Mustangs won the regular season title, but were upset in the conference tournament. We were probably have a chance to host the regional tournament. It didn't happen, so we were the 3 seed. St. Cloud State hosted it. We beat Winona in the first round, then hammered Fort Hays State, who was the 2 seed. Then played the host school, St. Cloud State, and unbelievable game, one of the best in school history, and back and forth affair. And we win on the last second shot by Marcus Penna, but it's fun to win that region championship on somebody's home floor, and what a tournament you had.
Right, and especially, that was probably my favorite 3-game stretch, by far the most memorable. The atmosphere there, the energy in that building, Hallenbuck Hall, I think that's what it's called. Place was packed, and it was special for me because I was pretty heavily recruited by St. Cloud State, so I knew their coaches pretty well. Forrest Witt was a friend of mine. That played at St. Cloud State. So there's a lot of little battles that we wanted to take to them, but beating them on their floor in front of their fans was very special. Getting revenge on Winona State, because we lost to them the week prior. We came back and put it to them pretty well. But then it just that whole atmosphere, being in St. Cloud with the team for that whole stretch, and really putting everything together and getting to the Elite Eight for the first time in school history was pretty special.
It was pretty amazing. And of course, you mentioned some of your teammates. Some are here today, Jacob and Coach Bigler, but had a great team and great 4 years here of some unbelievable teammates, and that's what made it pretty special as well to get this honor today. But all those guys, you're still pretty tight today.
Absolutely. The power of social media helps, staying close to all those guys. I mean, just as all athletes, I mean, it's lifelong friendships, and it means a lot to have Jacob here. Good to see you. Brad, Scott would have been nice to have here. My brother Mike, he's got his girls playing basketball all over the place today, so they couldn't make it. But I mean, yeah, that's the best part about this whole athletic thing is the teammates that you have. Some of the best memories you have aren't necessarily on the court or the field. It's the bus trips, Colorado, down there with Miles and you and everybody else. So all those trips you take. It's just, okay, stop there.
Yeah, that's right. But they're unbelievable times. Well, but Chad, it would have been great. Scott, maybe we'll try to do it in 2 years with Scott. But congratulations to you guys. Unbelievable careers here. Really set the bar high for Mustang basketball. They're still going with today. So congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Honor.
Thank you.
Our next inductee